Now, it's been called the pension revolt. For the last 2 days, protests by retired police officers under the contributory pension scheme have shaken Nigeria's capital, Abuja, and other parts of the country with explosive allegations of corruption, poor police welfare, financial hardship, and abject poverty. For a time, their protests shut down police headquarters in Abuja. They allege that the contributory pension scheme has been nothing but a fraud, which pays out a mere pittance and not a living wage. And this after giving this country many years of service, often laying their lives on the line. Their protests were supported by many civil society groups and human rights activists, including the former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore, who demanded improvements in the welfare of both serving and retired officers. So how can the government ensure that the condition of police officers is dramatically improved? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the human rights activist, journalist, founder of the US-based news website Sahara Reporters, and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. I'm sorry we gobbled up a bit of your time with the former Prime Minister of Kenya. But I mean, it's shocking to note that some of these people who retired after 35 years of service are only getting, some of them, 19,000 naira a month.
Naira,
I mean, while others are even getting less. Yeah. I mean, that's how bad things are.
You know, for a commissioner of police, retired police commissioner, they get 57,000 naira a month.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And what we did yesterday, which for me was one of the most remarkable things we did, you know, I stepped up to the guys on the barricade and I said to them, we're not here to shame you, we brought you your mirror. Because this is what you're going to be.
I like that.
When you,
and you should look into it, because that's who you're going to be when you retire.
When you retire.
Indeed.
And I think it's sunk in.
Yeah. That was a very effective way of putting it across. But can you explain to us how this current state of affairs is being caused and exacerbated by them being in that contributory pension scheme?
I think one is that the contributory pension scheme was discriminatory of the police. The army is not in it, and I think customs people are not in it. I think it's the correction people and the police. And to make it worse, the police hierarchy, that is all the IGs, are also not on it. So they get 100% of their salaries when they retire. But anybody below AIG is in that scheme. And the scheme is managed by, of course, private pension bodies. And they just spend their money on their behalf. I mean, they keep their money, help them invest it. So
they're supposed to invest it, which is what those things are supposed to do.
This can also not be divorced from the general economic crisis, because the value of the naira is a major problem. If your retirement benefit in 1980 was 5,000 naira, you were a millionaire today. You could buy a B2 Volkswagen car, you could build a house, marry a new wife if you want. But today, 2 million naira that are paid is pittance. It can't even buy them a recharge card. Some can't buy a new handset, that's a phone device.
But I understand that removing them from that scheme is beyond the remit of the Inspector General of Police. Apparently it's deeply woven into a web of statutory mandates, interagency protocols, and what somebody described as policy inertia, which is essentially that the policy has remained unchanged, and even when circumstances and all the evidence clearly suggest the need for reform.
Well, it's not about removing them alone. It's about placing them where they place their colleagues. The question is, where is the army? Why wouldn't you have a different pension scheme for the police as different from the army? We are duty bound as a country to take care of retirees. But by the way, let's make it clear, this has nothing to do with retirees alone. We were also fighting for serving policemen.
Yes, I noticed that you mentioned that.
Because the less you get paid as your minimum wage, the less you can contribute to your pension as well. So without also looking into what you call, if you don't make the minimum wage a living wage, the pension with the value of the naira, removal of subsidy, and no social protection for the people, especially these police officers and workers in general, it's like retirement is like death sentence for these people. And that's why I said yesterday, if retirement was really encouraging, the IG of police would have retired a year ago.
I understand the Police Service Commission condemned the protests, saying that it's some bad people, as they put it.
Well,
I suppose they see you as a bad person.
Exactly, that's fine. But you can understand that most of the people who are in the Police Service Commission are people who are not in the CPS.
Yeah.
They are mostly AIGs and above. So they don't have to care about it. They can see us as bad people because they are not getting bad pensions.
You're not a bad person, are you?
I don't care, you know. I can be bad to them as long as I'm good to my conscience. I'm fine.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
And just on another note,
Yes.
briefly, I understand your AI smart glasses were stolen during the protests at the police headquarters in Abuja, and that you've identified the suspect who allegedly stole the glasses. Please don't mention any names in case it turns out not to be that person. We don't want anybody to sue us. Just tell us how it happened and how you were able to track down the suspect.
It was stolen on camera. We captured the person stealing this, and it was identified to be working with. He's a cameraman with the PPRO's office.
But don't mention any names, please.
But the interesting thing about it was that the moment he was captured on camera, I think there's something that technology does these days. It can help you crowdsource criminals. So within an hour, we identified who he was, where he lived. But I just decided personally not to put out too much of his information. I don't want him to get hurt.
Yeah, but did you manage to get your glasses?
No, we even wrote a petition, submitted yesterday, but they're still tossing us around. And that the petition was not addressed to the proper person. But I know the game, you know. But whether they like it or not, I'll get back my glasses.
But what kind of glasses were there? What AI smart glasses? I mean, it sounds
Ray-Ban AI
complicated.
smart glasses, and part of the reason I wear it is that it aids everything I do.
Yeah, you can record people, can you?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, that's probably why they took it away from
Well,
you.
they've been targeting that camera since I recorded some policemen trying to collect bribe at the airport, and a judge had complained about the glasses. But they're just not AI glasses. They're glasses that are suited for the time that we are in.
Right.
That it provides you security, it provides you assistance with hearing, it helps you pick up your phone, it helps you translate. It does so many things, you know. And one of the things I said to them when they see the camera is like, you ought to have these cameras. Because that's where policing is. You ought to have body cams, and you are supposed to have AI glasses, because that's modern policing.
But I expect the DSS probably have them with all those dark glasses they wear around the place. I mean,
the DSS guys are just glorified policemen too. And we're in Nigeria. There's nothing they can do beyond and above their capacity to be who they should be. And the moment the focus and the agenda is to protect the rich, then they abandon the work and they don't catch up with the rest of the world. That's the problem. I mean, you can't believe that the road safety, they have body cams, but they turn it off on their own because, you know,
they don't want to be seen.
Yeah, they don't want to be caught doing.
But I mean, given what you've just told us, would it be fair to say that your glasses weren't actually stolen, that they were confiscated?
No,
by
they were
the
stolen.
police?
It was stolen because if you want to confiscate, you approach the person and say, you know, I want these glasses because I'm a police person. But this one, he approached us and reached out for the glasses, took them and ran away. So, and he ran into the police headquarters.
Right.
So they initially denied until the footage started flying around. So they took it. I understand what they're trying to do, but that's between me and them. Yes.
Right. But you're confident you're going to get them back?
If I don't get them back, I'll get more. There's nothing there's nothing they can do about that. The world has moved past this very mediocre, Stone Age mentality anyways, yeah.
So, I mean, just very briefly, we've got about 2 minutes left. Just your sense of the political complexion of Nigeria at the moment. I mean, we've got the PDP meeting today. We've got the APC also meeting. They're all girding their loins, as it were, in preparation for what's to happen. We saw Rotimi Amechi turning up in Rivers State today, and I mean, huge crowds came out to meet him under the banner of the ADC. A lot of people dressed in ADC sort of colors. I mean, what do you make of all that?
Well, this is a season. It's a season for this set of people and the way they go about politics.
But you're not eyeing any of those things?
No, I was on your show last time and I told you some of the predictions I've made have happened. The fact that there's a strange bunch fellows, some of them are still going to come back to APC, some will keep moving around. For instance, some of the people who went and joined the coalition are now pulling out. Some have refused to abandon their old political parties and they're registering. They are going back to their old political parties, say, we never left, we just went to a meeting. So that's what I told you. That's the nature of their politics. I'm just hoping, and this one is where I get a little bit emotional, and that the Nigerian people can see through all of this without AI glasses, with naked eyes. Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
On that note, I want to say thank you, but I do apologize. The time was a bit shorter than we planned, but please come back and talk to us again.
I'll take a rain check.
Yeah, take a rain check,
Yes.
mate. Omoyele Sowore is the human rights activist, journalist, founder of the US-based news website Sahara Reporters, and former presidential candidate. Good to see you again. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
indeed. That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, bye-bye, and thank you for watching.